Good afternoon, 49er faithful. Had to come on and do a quick special here with all of the breaking news that is coming out of the 49ers locker room and practice facility today, with breaking news that Jimmy Garoppolo did in fact suffer a UCL tear with a fracture that just moments before Coach Kyle Shanahan had indicated to our local beat writers that it was not a fracture. So a bit of a miscommunication or a misunderstanding for Coach Kyle Shanahan in properly labeling this injury. But with 2 games left in the season, and the most likely scenario being that the 49ers move on from Jimmy Garoppolo in between this, at the end of this year and next, you would think this could be the last time we have seen Jimmy Garoppolo out on the field for the San Francisco 49ers. And as this video indicates, that this could be the beginning of the Trey Lance era against the Texans this Sunday. Very excited to be here. Very excited for any of you that are able to join this show that was previously unannounced. So glad if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell, or you follow me on Twitter. That was the way to get notified of this one. Saying hello to those of you that are already here in the comments. Silent Seth, one of the sneakerheads of Rob Schuh's channel here. In fact, rooting for Miami, as all 49er faithful should be. Fins up on this one. The Niners need the Saints to lose tonight. Therefore, we should all be diehard Miami Dolphins fans. Silent Seth saying, let's hope the Fins play like it's the 70s or the 80s. Yes. Welcome, Eric Schultz. He's a big fan of the show. Welcome. Glad to have everybody here. The Rocky Mountain Razorback Trey-off time, baby. The Trey-offs are here. Man, I got to add that tag to this video. Trey-off is a very good moniker going into this one. Listen, I know that it's going to be a stretch. Welcome to the NFL, Trey Lance. You have 2 must-win games in front of you. And oh, by the way, if you win those 2, you've earned a ticket to the playoffs, where you get to start your 4th game going into the NFL playoffs. But we should all be excited because this sets up for the 49ers to have a pretty storybook ending to this season, potentially going on a run here with a quarterback that people don't have much film on, right? What they saw against Arizona is not going to be what we see coming up against the Texans. I say that with my fingers crossed, hoping that is not what we see. AJB says, let's hope Kyle dials up some play action instead of quarterback sneaks all game. Yes, let's get back to what you saw Trey Lance run in North Dakota in college, where he successfully ran a very dynamic play action offense. You would think that would work well with all of the talent the San Francisco 49ers have here. All right, before I get into the comments too hard, because I do want to know your reaction to this, I do want to get into your thoughts on saying goodbye potentially to Jimmy Garoppolo and saying hello to the rookie going in. I have to first acknowledge that I believe Jimmy Garoppolo deserves some credit in leaving the 49ers. I believe that 49er faithful should have kind words for him, as frustrating as his last start was. And believe me, I understand just how frustrating that game was from Jimmy Garoppolo and how it embodied everything about him in his career with the 49ers as far as inconsistency goes. That said, let us recognize that he came into a fractured franchise in 2017, that he provided us with some amazing highlight reel performances in that 5-game stretch. He earned himself that ridiculous contract that the 49ers were all too willing to give him to start his career and stay in San Francisco. He doesn't bear the blame of the 49ers overpaying him based on a small sample size. He does deserve some credit for helping pull the franchise out of the situation it was in in 2017 and getting us all excited about it again. Selling tickets to Levi's Stadium. Yes, there was a lot of heartbreak in there, but let's not pretend that the 2019 season wasn't magical. I never like to see a player get injured. I never like to see someone be unable to do what they love doing so much. And I know people can question Jimmy Garoppolo's competitive edge. I get the frustration. There is no question about it. And people throwing strange conspiracy theories about this. You know, if Adam Schefter comes out and reports that there is a UCL tear with a fracture, I don't need to see the MRI. I don't need to see the X-ray. I believe that that's the case. I don't think Adam Schefter's putting his name on the line to do Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch any favors like that. I think you're looking at a serious injury for Jimmy Garoppolo, and that is probably the end to his career. So I will definitely tip my cap to him and thank him for his time with the 49ers. But other than hammering out what the injury guarantee is for next year, if he is not healed by the new league year rolling around, as I understand it, it's somewhere right around the $7.5 million range, which is not the end of the world in getting Jimmy Garoppolo off the books. Probably makes it harder to trade him. But as he exits this organization, I want to give him a respectful send-off. So that's my hope for all 49er faithful, that you can set aside whatever aggravation you have with Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever ill will you may harness toward that gentleman, in particular after his last performance, which was atrocious against the Titans. But overall, I have to thank him for his time with the 49ers, for some of the great memories that I have. That 2019 game against the Saints is one of my favorite modern-day games that I attended. I mean, just an amazing experience to be there in New Orleans, eat that beautiful food, and to watch an incredible game, a real shootout of which Jimmy Garoppolo was behind center. So I tip my cap, a literal tip of the cap, to Jimmy Garoppolo, as he most likely is done in San Francisco. But hello, 49ers fans. That means that we are into the Trey era beginning. Trey Lance, the starting quarterback for the 49ers, most likely for the remainder of the season. And as long as he can handle business, we will see Trey Lance in the playoffs. In the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know if you all are excited about this, but I certainly am. This is what I have been looking forward to for a long time, wanting to see Trey Lance come in with a few snaps here and there, or a complete switch where we get over to Trey, but at least getting some sort of taste, something to give us hope for 2022. And it is setting up just that way right now. All right, Michael Young comes in with a super chat. Michael Young, buy Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll get traded this offseason. I would think so. I do wonder if this hurts his value. I had previously predicted that we would trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a second-round pick. I know many people think there's no way that you're going to get a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think those people are underestimating just how bad quarterback play is for the bottom teams in the league, and just how desperate NFL teams are for average quarterback play. For someone like Jimmy Garoppolo, who is inconsistent, and people would say, well, there's no way someone's paying that salary for 1 year. They'll wait until he's a free agent. And to that, I say, no, they probably wouldn't pay that salary. But there would be a wink, wink, nudge, nudge deal done with Jimmy Garoppolo and his agent for whatever team that's acquiring him, where they have established the terms for an extension for Jimmy Garoppolo that gets his cap number to whatever they want it to be over that period of that contract. Because Jimmy doesn't want to be cut. Jimmy doesn't want to be a backup somewhere. Jimmy wants to go somewhere where Jimmy is going to be appreciated. And I do think that will happen. But with this injury, you could see that trade value being significantly hindered. You could see that being a real sticking point for teams, and maybe wanting to wait until it's fully healed. And maybe it isn't healed by the time the new league year starts, and the 49ers are on the hook for $7.5 million. All of those things still remain to be seen. But right now, right now, we ride the excitement of Trey Lance. And hopefully not the Trey Lance game plan that we saw when he came in against Arizona. I have to hope that it was because of the lingering finger issue and the struggles he was having with accuracy, if you believe those reports, that limited that game plan in Arizona. That Kyle Shanahan will run a much more similar game plan to what you would have seen with Jimmy under center, just with a more mobile quarterback who is using his legs as a secondary weapon. Hopefully not the first instinct of just bailing and using his legs. I want to see him operate this offense with the addition of being a mobile individual, with the addition of being able to roll out, throw back across the field, and all those things that his talent, his skill set bring to the table above and beyond what Jimmy Garoppolo was able to do. Antonio Monroy, your last episode crossed my fingers, Trey Lance. Antonio may have wished this into fruition. I mean, it is very strange that we did not get any information on this injury post-game. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I do not believe that, anybody's hiding anything. And yet, you do have to acknowledge that typically this type of injury would have come out post-game. It would have set up an interesting dialogue of when did it happen? How did it impact throws? Now, it came late in the first half, and so there were plenty of mistakes made after or before that, right? The miss to Juice was before the injury. The first interception in the end zone where he's trying to get it to Kittle, before the injury. So we're not writing off any of that performance. I am bummed that will be the last memory we have of Jimmy Garoppolo. Thankfully, he did toss a touchdown on that last drive, but I know I am in the minority of wishing him well on his way out. I think many 49er faithful, given that last performance, are sick and tired and ready to move on and excited for the rookie. Aaron from 49ers First Takes, in the words and voice of Emperor Palpatine, execute Order 66. It's Lance time. Yes, the faithful and folks like Aaron, who are also on YouTube, 49ers First Take, shout out, has been on the channel many times. You all know him. Are very excited to see what the young gentleman can do. All right, I'm excited to see what your thoughts are in the chat. So for those of you that are new to the channel, if you're in the chat right now and you want to say something at me about Trey Lance, type in the @Rob or @Schuh so that I know those comments are coming in as questions or thoughts about this shift to the rookie. We will hang here and get your reactions for a little bit leading up to this Monday night game, where we should all be rooting as hard as we possibly can for the Dolphins to take down the Saints. The 49ers, unfortunately, no longer control their own playoff destiny. They need some help in order to make sure they get in, which is highly disappointing. And the first bit of help could come tonight by Ian Book dropping the ball for New Orleans and the Dolphins capitalizing. Here we go. This is a comment from Supercell Chaser talking about the Texans are a tough team. They just whooped a good Chargers team. They did just whoop on the Chargers. The Chargers have been struggling on defense. I would say that the Texans are an inconsistent team, but an inconsistent team on the rise. Davis Mills definitely looking sharp in this past one. A couple of good games put together by Mills here. And I just don't expect Rex Burkhead to have the type of game that he did against the Chargers. I can't see that happening against the San Francisco defense, but we shall see. We are going to need to put points up. That's for sure. I think Trey has proven that he can get the yards. We just have to get into the end zone. I want to see a much more standard game plan than we did against Arizona. Speaking of Star Wars references, we have Archon Jedi. We still better make the playoffs. Yeah, how about that for the rookie? comes in his second start, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a must-win game to get us into the playoffs against the Texans. And then, oh yeah, a must-win game week 18 against the division rival who we have been beating up on like a little brother and who is most definitely pissed off about that and trying to get a victory over us, which they haven't had in some time, in order to actually get into the playoffs. It's wild. I mean, it sets up, and then his fourth game is just going to be a playoff game. That's how it's going to work out for Trey Lance. Welcome to the NFL. Antonio, first time in history for rookie to win a Super Bowl. Yes, wouldn't it be the first time? It would indeed. We heard that all year from anyone who would say, well, they just, if Trey comes in and we start a rookie, no team has ever won the Super Bowl with a rookie their first year. This is sort of the dynamic that I was hoping for. Not any injury to Jimmy. You know me. I do not root for injury. I don't care if it's for the other team. I don't tolerate rooting for injuries, period. And I thought this set up for potentially getting Trey in here. Teams do not have film on him and making a run in the postseason. Everett Kramer coming in. Ev, we can see the glow from your potential Trey Lance joy all the way down here in SF, bro. Love it. Fingers crossed. I am very excited to see Trey Lance. I didn't want it to unfold in this way. I would never root for injury, and it is Trey time. It is Trey time. We needed a change. We needed a spark. We needed something. And here we are faithful. Here we are looking at what we had all been asking for. Some of you asking for it in a violent and angry way. And some of you more like myself, where you just needed a little bit of inspiration. You were coming off of a brutal loss on Thursday night and needed something positive to hang your hat on, and boom, here it is. Here it is. This is what we needed. All right, Debo Samuel fan, at Rob. Jimmy needs to sit the rest of the year. He's a pedestrian when he isn't 100%. Remember the 2020 Dolphins game in a season where we are fighting for a playoff spot? We can't deal with that. Go Trey. It would seem with the UCL tear, I would think, while Shanahan doesn't like to give away information, I would think that Jimmy's done for the year. I will wait for a timeline on that, but you could see the prioritization of Trey Lance's development being one of Shanahan's top priorities. I believe that's why he's not put him out there unless he believed he could be successful. But here's his chance. Here is his chance. Kurt the Chameleon. I had a hunch Trey was on deck for the playoffs for a while now. Just thought he'd be alongside Jimmy. That's what I had been saying, that they would work him into games, but that he would be a secret weapon come the playoffs. Here he is. He is the secret weapon, and he's the only weapon. Just hope he's the only weapon that we need. 9 coming in. Do you think Jimmy deliberately botched the game versus the Titans? I do not. I don't think that would do Jimmy any good with his future in the NFL. I don't think he's a vindictive guy. He seems like the ultimate teammate, and the locker room bears that out. You haven't heard any of the vocal leaders within the 49ers take shots at him publicly. He handled this situation, which was a rough situation. Let's be honest. Whether you like Jimmy or hate Jimmy, you must give him credit for the fact that he held up under this intense scrutiny throughout this and was a gentleman throughout. And you have to tip your cap to that. I don't care if you dislike him. You have to respect that fact. He could have burned this locker room to the ground, and he didn't. Eduardo Rodriguez, Trey Lance is going to ball out this week, and we are going to put the whole NFL on notice. Man, I sure hope so. It sets up that way. It sets up to be a storybook rookie winning his first Super Bowl type of season, doesn't it? I mean, climb the ranks of the wild card and fight through the playoffs. I'm telling you, it's a possibility. Malk the Believer, a sneakerhead here on the Rob Schuh channel. Jimmy laughing on the bench after throwing a pick was a bad look. It lowered my opinion of Jim. Still wish him well, though. I appreciate that maturity there. That, yes, the smile on the sideline after that first pick, that, man, people did not take kindly to that, and I don't blame them. I think that it's part of who Jimmy is, his ability to be a goldfish, as Ted Lasso might say, that he can forget the last play, but it was tough to see in the moment. But you still wish him well. I applaud that wholeheartedly. Keneal Mason, this is our first time Lance gets to play with all of our weapons healthy, right? Yes, well, let's hope that Elijah Mitchell is out there. Man, if he's not, that could be a rough not to have a run game. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Elijah Mitchell can make it out there with that lingering knee issue. Bat Dad, can't wait to see him play with full weapons, but remember, he is a rookie. Cut him slack where needed. Yes, much like I say in regard to Jimmy Garoppolo and any 49ers player, on social media, let's be easy on the kid. Let's be easy on the fact that he is a rookie. He is coming in. He is playing against, Mark right here calls it out, Davis Mills, who has had 3 excellent games in a row, a surging Texans team. Touchdown San Francisco says Texans can beat us if we don't take them seriously. I do believe that is true, that this team is going to be a tough beat, but they're coming across country into our house. This is the time to be 100% behind Trey Lance and a little bit forgiving if he does make those rookie mistakes. You can no longer say it's an 8-year vet making these mistakes. It will, in fact, be a rookie. Eric Schultz, do you think Trey Lance can win Offensive Rookie of the Year at the last second if he leads the 49ers to a big win out? Unfortunately, I think they finalized that voting before the Super Bowl. They should wait, because if he led us to a frickin' 6th Super Bowl victory, then the man would deserve to win. I mean, they should rip the rookie award from whomever they gave it to and give it to Trey if he ends up leading us to victory in the Super Bowl. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. We play the Texans first, and that is the game that we must be focused on. A surging Texans team. Ashley coming in. Hey, I'm excited for Trey, but do feel bummed for Jimmy on a human level. Is it possible we make it to the playoffs and they go back to Jimmy? Excited to see Trey. Ashley, this is how I feel. Like, thank you for saying it this way. I'm super excited for Trey and very excited to have a spark for the 49ers that gives me some hope we may be able to take this deep into the playoffs. I just don't know what type of an injury a UCL tear and a fracture really means. My guess is that you're looking at a Russell Wilson type timeline of 6 to 8 weeks. That's just a guess, And Russell was superhuman and started to throw the ball as soon as he got the pin inserted. We've seen injuries linger a bit longer for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's heading into a situation where he may need to prepare himself for a new career with a new team. I could see himself being conservative and not coming back. I think that Kyle Shanahan will want to make this switch permanent. He won't want to damage the rookie's confidence by going back and forth. I get the feeling that this is it for Jimmy Garoppolo. On a human level, I am absolutely with you, Ashley. I feel for him. On an excitement level, I'm thrilled to have Trey Lance. Bat Dad, Trey's not ready. Jimmy gives us best chance to win. Trey isn't ready. I'm Trey. Hey, buddy, we need you to save the season now. Yeah, well, it is desperation, but that's what happens when you are the backup quarterback and then the starter goes down. That is the reality in the NFL, that it is the next man up, and Trey is that next man. Thankfully, he is a very talented individual and should be able to carry these 49ers through a couple of much-needed victories. But the defense is going to need to step up. Everyone is going to need to step up to complement the rookie. Guapiano coming in, asking people to hit that like button. Thank you, best content on the internet. That is a warm sentiment, and I like it, though. We have a lot of people here in this one. The more of you that enjoy the content and hit the like button, it amplifies my signal there, even if I can't get that out in a coherent sentence. Here we go. Eric Schultz. Do you think Trey Lance can win Offensive Rookie of the Year? Oh, we went into that one. Yes, again, hit the @RobSchuh for me as I scroll through trying to catch up in the comments so that I know you are talking to me. Here we go. Malk the Believer, a fellow sneakerhead. The Niners should have kept this info quiet until night before the game so the Texans couldn't plan for Trey. Maybe that's what they were doing, with Shanahan only saying it was a strain. A beat reporter literally asked Shanahan 2 hours before the Adam Schefter report and said, hey, was it a fracture? Shanahan says no, point blank. Then Adam Schefter comes out and says, actually, it's a UCL tear and a fracture. So maybe he was trying to keep it quiet. Matthew Scott. New England, Pats, and 49ers Super Bowl battle of the rookies. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that storyline be sweet? Wouldn't that be between the quarterback they did trade up to draft and the one they could have drafted at 12? Oh my goodness, that would be sweet. Silent Seth, I think responding to the earlier question around Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy wouldn't do that to us fans, even the ones that hate him. He still wants to perform his best for the fans and the franchise. It just doesn't go the way you want it to sometimes. It is not always a storybook ending to a career, to your time with a team. It is very, very unfortunate for the individual, although I'm sure I'm in the minority of people that feel badly for him. Lapacalolo, a sneakerhead here, getting in. Wow, just got on. Trey starting. How exciting. Look forward to Sunday's game. Just hope he plays well by not turning over the ball. That is key for the 49ers. They seem to be a team that is incapable of overcoming turnovers, but now we do have someone who can contribute the chunk plays. So maybe we do have that weapon that can overcome some of the mistakes that we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot with. Randall Riley, another sneakerhead here on the channel. Okay, let's finally get back to running the damn ball with Trey leading the ground game. I actually hope that Trey is primarily passing in this one, that we get away a bit from what we saw in Arizona. Yes, I want him to use his legs. Randall, I'm with you on that. But I want it to be whomever is the starting tailback, whether it's Jeff Wilson Jr. for one more week as Elijah Mitchell continues to heal up that knee, or fingers crossed Elijah comes back. I would rather they lead the charge and Trey complement it primarily with his arm. Liban coming in. I expect a lot of play actions to help Trey get outside of the pocket and make plays on the run. Easier for a rookie than standing in the pocket making reads. I've been calling this for a long time, and I am with you on this. Roll out to the wide side of the field, cut the reads in half on that play action. Trey, while he doesn't have very many dropbacks in college, the vast majority were play action. He is practicing it. Kurt the Chameleon. I kind of feel sorry Trey has that kind of pressure on him, though. It is rough, but welcome to the NFL. That is the reality of this game. And it's crazy like that. It's crazy that much freaking pressure is going to be on somebody. Malk the Believer, tickets are pretty cheap for Sunday. Yes, get your tickets to the Texans game. I hadn't bought my tickets to the Rams game, which I'm going to down in LA. I now have my flight down there, but I was trying to hold off and maybe get some cheap tickets. And now that Trey's going to be playing, I think those ticket prices are going to go sky high, and I will regret not having gotten that frickin' ticket while I was looking at it, because it's ridiculous. You want first level, 100 level, it's like $600 with fees. Minimum. Crazy. Avatar doing a service, asking for those likes. If you like the content. If you don't hit the like button. But if you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Schnozzle Shabizzle at Schuh. I don't believe Warner would be the type of person to blow smoke to the 49er faithful. As long as Kyle plays to Trey's strengths, we should be okay. Thoughts? I'm with you that Fred Warner, unsolicited, said that Trey Lance had been carving up the first team defense. I don't think Warner is the type to blow smoke. I am with you. Schnozzle Shabizzle, I am with you. Chris coming in, sneakerhead with the super chat. With that loss to the Titans, we no longer control our playoff destiny. I think we will handle the Texans. The Rams will be a close and tough game. Both could be close and tough. You are absolutely correct, Chris, that we do not control our destiny. I'll be honest, when I woke up Friday morning after that loss, I had no idea that was the case. I thought that we still, with one loss, controlled our destiny. Things didn't go our way over Sunday, so that is still the case, that we need help. And some of that help starts in just a few minutes. All of you listening here, over 500 of you, need to be devout Dolphins fans. We need positive energy towards the Dolphins. We want the Saints to lose. Yes, please. Javier Rios coming in and joining the Sneakerhead community. Yes, if you want to join the Sneakerhead community, after you hit that subscribe button, hit the join button, and then you can become a part of supporting the channel, and I appreciate that, Javier. Thank you. Much appreciation. Javier says, I'm back, baby. It's like you never left, Javier. Nick S. Again, if you want your comments and they're towards me, hit the @Rob or @RobSchuh. Nick S. says, @Rob, wouldn't be better scenario than Fins beating New Orleans and letting New Orleans hang around same record with SF and Philly is Saints winning out to take the 6th and SF and Philly splitting last 2, giving SF head-to-head for 7 instead. Except that in any scenario where the 49ers come into a multiple-way tie, there are other ways they can get bumped out. I would rather that the Saints lose multiple games, that anyone else who's in contention there, whether it is the Vikings or the Falcons or the Eagles, I don't want a multi-way tiebreaker because the 49ers conference record is poor, and therefore there are several scenarios that play out where the 49ers get bumped in these multiple way ties. They have a lot of the 1-to-1 tiebreakers. And that's what I'm hoping is we come up 1-to-1 against a team we beat. My Rhino is now a sneakerhead on Schuh's channel. Welcome. Welcome to the sneakerhead community. All right, looking for the @RobSchuh. Eric Schultz is in @RobSchuh. Sorry, I didn't mean to send that question twice. Hey, that's okay. That is okay. I forgive you. A fellow sneakerhead is excited. I'm telling you that this news has excited people. AJB calling out that Adams a snitch. That probably Kyle was keeping that in his back pocket, and we wouldn't have known that Trey was going to start until like Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, Adam Schefter snitched, and now it's common knowledge, and the news is out, but it gives us excitement. So thank you for that, Adam Schefter. Punch you in the eye. I like that name. Trey Area. This offense is going to be scary good with Lance at the helm. Let's hope that it truly is the same offense, just with Lance's skill set instead of what we saw against Arizona. I'm with you here, Riz Ice. Please tell Kyle not to call 15 quarterback runs up the middle. Yes, I think we all need to let him know that that is not what we want to see. Supercell Chaser is excited. It's all about the boom. Trey Lance, baby. Yes, get excited, 49er faithful, as you should. All right, trying to catch up in the comments. Again, looking to read those that are addressed to me, @RobSchuh, or Paul, a long-time listener, getting them in. Love the content, as always, Rob. Almost 500 people watching right now and less than 100 likes. Uh-oh, they may not like the content, Paul. I'm just kidding. Take a few seconds and like the video, please, everyone. Only takes a second. Paul, I always appreciate people doing that, helping me amplify the message, getting it out there. If you do like the content, please like and consider subscribing. We got multiple folks joining the sneakerhead community. As I look to get in those @RobSchuh comments, I see those sneakerheads joining in here. Very exciting stuff. All right, David Moss feels ball control will kill the clock. Keep D-line fresh and wear out the defense. The key there will be making sure either Elijah Mitchell is in or that we stick with Jeff Wilson Jr. for the entirety of the game. We got away from it in the second half against Tennessee, and look how that one turned out. Not the result that we're looking for. @RobSchuh, Bill Walsh didn't change the offense when he switched from Montana to Steve Young. Hopefully, Kyle does the same. I am with you there. We need to see Trey Lance operate this offense and add in his physical gifts. I don't want to see that same Arizona game plan. Edward Brito, hey, Rob and Faithful. Trey area for 2022 officially now. Yes, at the beginning of 2022, we were all thinking that it was going to be 2022 the season. But no, in fact, it's just 2022 the year is the start of it. Tony coming in as the latest sneakerhead. Well, I think we have another sneakerhead after that, but our second newest sneakerhead to join the channel, Silent Seth, who had already been a sneakerhead. I got my third trailer. Now it's time to see the movie. Trey Lance, bring us home. Yes, we need some positivity after that game against the Titans, and we got it from the hope of the rookie. A new hope from the Star Wars theme. Felipe, go Finns, and Jimmy is for sure out. Yeah, I cannot imagine him coming back in this season. Again, we will get more information on the injury itself from folks that come out with, significant information about timelines and about healing up and injury guarantees for his contract next year. But for now, it does seem pretty clear that he will be out for these next two games. I can't imagine flip-flopping back and forth. I think once we've made this transition to the rookie, that is it. Malk the Believer, at Rob Schuh, do you ever attend home games at Levi's? Yes, I do. I love going to games at, I don't love it the same way I loved it when I went to Candlestick, but yes, the last couple games I was at Levi's were the playoffs in 2019. Obviously, 2020 was FUBAR, and this year has presented some travel challenges as well. So far this year, just been to the Seattle game, but I was there in the playoffs in 2019 against the Vikings and the Packers, and I definitely make trips there on a regular basis to visit my brick. If Gavin's watching right now, he knows in the background underneath that shoe, we got my brick that is proudly displayed at Levi's Stadium. Hold on, I'll show you. Yes, I go visit the brick. I make sure to pay homage to it as on my way in the stadium. It's the leftmost entrance that's in there and whatnot, and I go there and take a picture with the brick before it. Everett Kramer has joined the sneakerhead community. Ev, welcome to the channel in that way. Again, just another way to support the channel. I greatly appreciate any of you that are watching. I appreciate any of you that hit the like button. I love it when people subscribe to the channel. And certainly, if you want to take that support to the next level and become a member of the channel, a sneakerhead, there are certainly some things that come with that, and it is just supporting the channel as well, and therefore I have to take a moment to say thank you. Lewis coming in at Schuh. I love all the different spellings we get of my last name with the at Schuh. I absolutely do love it. I don't take any offense at any of them being incorrect. Lewis, in Trey we trust. Let's go. Yes, in Trey we must trust because we do not have any other option at this point. It's all on the rookie. All on the rookie. All right. YFGM Blog TV at Rob. I need the Saints to win so that Miami don't jump my Ravens. We may be in competition there. There are several scenarios for the 49ers. As someone rightfully pointed out before, you could actually have the Saints jump ahead of the 49ers in the 6th seed and have us take that 7th seed through a head-to-head matchup in being tied with any of the teams that we've already beaten in Minnesota, Philly, or who else have we beaten head-to-head? There's another. Oh, Atlanta. Any one of those three, if we come 1-1 on those, then we win out in the playoff seeding. I just don't want to be the 7th seed. To me, I don't want to be the new kid on the block who only got in because you skated into this new wild card spot that was created this year. I want the 6th seed or better. I hope. I don't know if we even can take the 5 seed at this point after that loss. Ev coming in. Yo, check Rob Schuh. Over 500 viewers live, blowing it up. If everybody kicks down $5 like I did, he can fly down and cover the Texans game. Put up a 5, peeps. Rob's is too kind and humble to ask. I appreciate that, Ev. I definitely will be at the game in LA. Going to be spending some time with a best friend of mine that lives in Orange County. I used to live down in Orange County, but I appreciate you throwing that out there. I probably won't be at the Texans game, but For all of you that will be there, I am excited for you. For anyone who had gotten a real cheap ticket to go see the Niners beat up on the Texans, and now all of a sudden you get to see Trey Lance, are you kidding me? We went from doom and gloom to excitement, 49er faithful. Yes, we did. Tony, again, that new sneakerhead. Honestly, this is one of the best games for Trey to start. Houston is not a good team. Even though Davis Mills looks impressive for a third-round pick. Yes, this is a good team to come in and play against. Even better than coming in week 1 against Detroit, because Trey has had time to sit and learn. I guarantee he has approached preparation the way Steve Young indicated a rookie needs to in order to grow while sitting. Richmond at Rob Schuh. I disagree. If the Saints lose one of their 3 games, we would need to beat the Rams. If the Saints win out, we are in with a win against Houston without the Rams game mattering. That's an interesting one as long as we don't end up tied with several teams. I think there is another scenario where we could get bumped in that. It is not quite as simple as getting bumped by the Saints and then making it in for sure. Dan Serrano with the super chat. This will be a great experience for Lance. Let's hope so. Let's hope that the game plan is spot on, that everyone else is fired up to see the rookie come in and that he lights it on fire. Special psych at Rob. If Lance plays poorly, do you think the fans will bash him or Kyle if Kyle doesn't do a good job calling calls? I think it's much more likely that fans bash Kyle than Trey Lance. I think Trey will get a lot of forgiveness for being a rookie and people just being fed up with Jimmy Garoppolo and being happy that they've moved on. So I do hope that fans are kind to the rookie. Give him a chance to grow. He is, in fact, only 21 years old. Don't be a rude 49er faithful to him on social media. Please. I'm asking, please. At Rob, Lance can run, has a strong arm, and has proven in college he doesn't turn the ball over. No reason to be excited. I'm having 6th ring vibes. Yes, no reason to not be excited. No reason to not be excited, Antonio says, and I am with that. I am with that, Antonio. Dan helping me with asking folks to hit that like button. Much appreciated as I scroll through and attempt to find those comments to me. At Rob Schuh, JB, that's it, says, do you think Kyle learned from the games he did play Lance, going back to how he used to play Jimmy, Nick Mullins, and CJ? All different. I am nervous still, even with Trey starting. I think it's fair to be nervous, and if I'm honest, I am too, but it's a nervous excitement now. Jeremy Spencer, at Rob, are we talking about this if Trey converted those 3rd and 4th downs against Arizona? You know, if it weren't for the injury, I mean, Shanahan indicated as much that he wanted to stick with him then. So, you know, I mean, I think we've got a lot of reason to be optimistic. I think we have a lot of reason to be optimistic. Jack 510 at Rob, do you think Lance could give this team new energy to make a legit run? He's a secret weapon. I do. This is my hope of hopes, that this is the spark we needed, that we win these final 2 games and that we propel ourselves into the playoffs with someone who defenses don't have tape on. Man, it sets up to be exciting in that way, doesn't it? A storybook season. At Rob, I bet you Trey has been ready all along, but Kyle didn't want to risk splitting the locker room. There's no more fear of that, is there? We can't split the locker room. There is no chance to bring Jimmy in with a torn, I don't even know what a torn UCL or whatever the hell that thing is, but it's torn and there's a fracture, so it's Trey time. James Perez, time to sweep the leg. Let's fricking go, Trey. Yes, take advantage of this Houston team that is struggling, even though they're surging. Jared Carlin, yes, I am positive because we've got something to be excited about now. We have actual reason for optimism. Jesse Thompson, at Rob Schuh, do you think Kyle will hold back Lance to support his narrative that Lance wasn't ready? No frickin' way. I believe that Kyle wants to win at all costs, and he will do everything he can to do so. Leaving at Rob Schuh, what if you want to be a slingback pumphead? Well, I mean, whatever you want to call yourself, I don't mind labels. If you want to be a sneakerhead, cool. If you want a different title, you just let me know, and I'll get you a different icon than everybody else, Lee. Tommy, change the QB, not the scheme. Bully ball run game. Yes, Tommy gets it. Tommy gets it. JB, that's it. At Rob Schuh, if Trey Lance wins these 2 games and we don't make playoffs, should we have started this earlier, even if he balls out and loses by 3? I'm just not one that is about trying to rewrite history. If Trey comes in and balls out, there'll be people who say, well, he should have started the beginning of the year. He would have been this good. I don't think that's necessarily the case. We saw the struggles against Arizona, even though he moved the ball well. We saw Kyle's reticence to use the same game plan. So I'm just not a fan of rewriting history. I think that this is the era going forward, and I look forward to seeing what he can do now. I'm not worried about what he could have done back then, and I'm willing to tip my cap to Jimmy and say thank you for not tearing the locker room down on your way out. AJB, now that we have hope with our QB1, can we address our defensive backs? Will Mosley be back, or can we sign someone? There's really nobody out there. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to touch Brashad Breeland. He wasn't playing all that well and had to fight with teammates. I think we got to wait until next year to address this problem. Mosley appears to be on track not to come back until the playoffs if we make it that far. So we're going to have to cover up the defensive inefficiencies in the secondary. Jesse Thompson, do you think Kyle will hold back Trey to support his narrative? We got to that one. I'm behind, so I'm going to catch up a little bit. And I saw some super chats in there to bring us forward with. Here we go. Dakota Mule. I have the opportunity to watch Trey grow. Wishing him the best along with the team. Hit the like. Thank you for that. Yes, this is going to be a thrilling experience for 49er faithful. We went from going into a Texans game down because of the fact that, we were unable to win a game that we should have won against the Titans. And now we have a spark. Now maybe Levi's will be pretty close to full. Maybe the energy in the building will be legit. Maybe 49er faithful will ride that energy to provide the spark that we need on defense to lift it up. This defensive line is capable of covering for that secondary. They are that good. They just need to play like it. We got to be consistent, got to run the ball, got to control the clock, got to get after Mills. Just bring the rookie down and lift our rookie up. Mark Salas coming in with the super chat. I know you have a tendency to believe Kyle on face value, but does your gut believe Jimmy is really injured? It does, in that it's Adam Schefter who put that out there. It was Kyle Shanahan saying it's just a sprain today, which is either sandbagging or he didn't know the truth. When Adam Schefter comes out and lays something like that on the line, that would be so easy to disprove, right? All it would take would be Jimmy to say, I don't have a UCL tear and a fracture. And then that would be a large bit of you-know-what that Adam Schefter would need to eat. So, yes, I do believe in the reality that it is an injury. I just don't think anybody is going to make up a lie like that at this point in time. One that has to be corroborated by so many folks. That wouldn't strike me. I'm an Occam's razor type of guy. Usually the simplest answer is the correct one. And so, yes, I do believe in the injury, and I do think it's going to be a season-ending one. I do believe it's going to be the last time we've seen Jimmy Garoppolo play for the 49ers. Andre Sneakerhead coming in at Rob Schuh. Jimmy has been compensated well by the Niners. Would have liked for a fairy tale ending for his final year. However, just imagine the ending Trey Lance can write into this season. Man, I love that positivity. Yes, I do. And I love people that support Jimmy even as he's on his way out, because why do we need to bash him on his way out? Let's be bigger people than that. Let us just tip our cap to him, appreciate what he was able to do in lifting this organization during his time here. Appreciate the fact that, yeah, it was a struggle to watch him be so inconsistent, but he did contribute to some amazing games, and I will be thankful for that and now be ready to move on to the rookie. Leaving. couple of garbage time reps would have helped Lance, but you got to pump up Jimmy no matter what. The garbage time snaps would have been nice coming in so that we were a little more confident. Chinso coming in just with the donation. Much appreciated with that. Okay, here we go. Charlie talking about the breaking news. The 49ers are not rolling out Jimmy G, but he will be evaluating at Wednesday's practice and Friday's practice, see if he's good to go for Sunday. That was the narrative prior to the Adam Schefter news. I do not believe that there is any chance Jimmy plays this week. I don't think there's a chance he plays the rest of this year. I think that is it. If what Adam Schefter has reported is true, and I have no reason to believe otherwise, if he has a UCL tear with a fracture, he's done. And, again, I will be sort of sad to see him go. Sad that it ends in this way. I always was hoping for a transition to Trey in this offseason. I'm excited that it happens now after what I watched on Thursday, but I'm not going to bash Jimmy on his way out the door. Michael coming in. Where would you like to see Jimmy land next season? I like him with Sean Payton. That would be fantastic for him with Sean Payton. I'd like to see him in Pittsburgh. I think he would be welcomed with open arms in Pittsburgh. They need to move on from Ben Roethlisberger, who seems to be a shell of himself. You would think that could be a setup for success for Jimmy. All right, George coming in. At Rob Schuh, I think we are going to find out what Shanahan is made out of. We'll see how he runs the offense. We sure will learn a lot about what he thinks of Trey and Trey's readiness by his game plan. If we have the traditional game plan that you would have seen with Jimmy Garoppolo, then that shows you the confidence that the storyline we're getting in the background of these last 4 weeks for Trey, he's been lights out in practice. That would seem a lot more closer to reality if it is a full game plan, the same that we would have called for Jimmy. Attacking with throws, staying primarily in the pocket, and just using those legs as a plus on top of operating the offense the way in which he would have done it with Jimmy Garoppolo under center, hopefully with just fewer mistakes, even though it is a rookie coming in. People coming in just to say hello. I love it. I love it. Hello back. All right. At Rob Schuh, Frank G. getting 2012 Kaepernick versus Green Bay vibes. I was there at that game in Candlestick. I saw someone put in the chat Candlestick was a dump. I could not disagree with that more. Maybe it was a dump, but it was my dump. It was our dump. I love that frickin' stadium. And I will argue with anyone who wants to say it wasn't a storied stadium that deserved respect. All right, here we go. Silent Seth. A torn UCL is an elbow injury, and on top of that, he has a fractured thumb. A UCL is an elbow injury? Good Lord. Probably going to be more than 2 weeks unless Jimmy says screw it and wants to keep playing. Then it's up to Kyle. I would be interested to hear confirmation. This is a sneakerhead here. I'm taking Silent Seth at his word. But I just didn't see any reference to an elbow. That is fascinating, though. Very fascinating. Good inside info. Wesley Baldwin coming in with the super chat. Do you believe Trey Lance is the most gifted quarterback in the NFL? I can't think of one besides Lamar. Who's close? I mean, I think I have to say that the edge would go to several individuals at this time. Arm talent, I'm with you on Lamar Jackson. I think arm talent, you have to give it to Aaron Rodgers. I think smarts in the game, you'd have to give it to Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, totally gifted. Josh Allen. So upside is huge for Trey. But right now, he's got to go out and prove it. Arch on Jedi. At Rob, I know we are all high on Trey, but Azeez being out is going to hurt. We need to play defense to keep moving on to. Yes, Azeez's physical nature when present on the field cannot be overstated. He's a thumper, and he sets the tone. That is definitely going to be missed. I hope Marcel Harris is able to step in. All right, I'm going to catch up a little bit, but it has started Monday Night Football, so we got to go root for the frickin' Dolphins. At Rob, I think outside zone play action concepts would help Trey get into the feeling of running this offense. I couldn't agree more. Play action under center. We did shift to more shotgun for Jimmy. That's the one difference I do want to see is getting under center play action. Yes. Silent Seth. If you stretch out your arm, it's on the inside of the elbow, not the outside. And somehow it would make sense because it was definitely that entire arm and hand were being grabbed as it went down. This is breaking news that I am not familiar with. I will have to verify it after we get off of this program. Catching up in the comments, Luke Luna, fellow sneakerhead here on the channel. I'm excited to see what time has given Trey. Trey had like 6 design runs last time, and the rest of them were pass plays he bailed on. I bet he's better because of the scout team and time. I think that is absolutely correct, Luke. I do think it was 9 that were called for him. It was a crazy number, designed calls. But yes, with time and preparation, you would hope that we see an even finer product from the young gentleman. Junebug Spade coming in. Let's go, Trey Lance. Poise, and lead. He seems like a natural-born leader to me. Yes, he does. I think the kid has it. I think he is special, and I think we are all about to witness something. Here we go. Jimmy is looking at months of recovery for just the UCL tear. So sad. Man, that is bad news and could be bad news for the injury guarantee. We may have to eat $7.5 million of that contract next year if it is something that lingers like that. That would be big breaking news if it is not just limited to the hand, but is in fact an elbow injury as well. That is wild and not something I had heard until reported here by one of our sneakerhead community. All right, looking through, I knew, yes, here we go. Dan had the super chat. Let's stop the bull. We all wanted Jimmy to succeed as a 49er. Unfortunately, he was hurt more than we liked. As mad as I've ever been, he deserves respect. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for taking the effort to do the super chat, to bring that in. I am absolutely on board with this comment. I can't applaud Dan more for this. Yes, it was maddening. Yes, it was frustrating. Yes, we all, had those moments where we scratched our head with regard to Jimmy Garoppolo, but you got to tip your cap to him as he heads out. He could have burned this locker room to the ground, and he didn't. He deserves our respect for that alone, not to mention the things he did while under center. Some of the great highlights that he had, along with some of the painful ones. We've got people in agreement on my Candlestick rant. Candlestick had character. Yes, it did, Bullpup. Big Hex says Candlestick was a football stadium where a man can be a man. Amen. I don't know why Levi is no longer that, but Candlestick definitely has a lot of positive memories for me. I spent a lot of Sundays there with my dad. Positive memories. Aaron, appreciate it. Rob, you're the man. Love the show. And Grant. I was on with Grant this week and expressed my frustration. I couldn't even do my own show on Friday. Just had to enjoy time with my folks. And honestly, was thinking about maybe, just having a day to recover as well. It's the holidays, but this news got me fired up. That dad. Rob Schuh, it's my understanding that the UCL is the elbow tear that leads pitchers to getting Tommy John surgery. Further information about what this UCL thing is. Yeah, I definitely don't see that as being fake news. I think we are talking about a very real injury that could require significant time and may end up costing us that injury guarantee. Leaving. Great. Jimmy can't pass a physical and stuck with his contract in 2022. No cap space and Jimmy on the roster. No, not the entirety of the contract. It's only approximately $7.5 million that's guaranteed for injury. So no, the 49ers will not have to eat the entirety of that contract. There's every real possibility that had they traded him, even if they had traded him to a team that was desperate, that in fact they would have had to eat some small portion of that cap figure. $7.5 million may be around that number that they would have had to eat of the contract in a trade anyway. My theory was that a team would do a sign and trade where they get a wink, wink, nudge, nudge deal that in fact they get an extension done beforehand before trading for him. You still could see that. We've got enough time before the league year ends that he could heal up, and he may want to heal up and still get traded, as opposed to going through a rough process of injury settlement and only getting the $7.5 million. He could get more than that being a backup somewhere. Let's be honest about that. Lapaka Lolo saying touchdown Miami. Sorry for the spoiler. I should have said spoiler alert. I should have. But yes, we just got TC Dolphins just got a pick 6 to the house. Spoiler alert. All right, I need to go watch this game. I'm going to make sure that I haven't missed any super chats or any comments that are desperately attempting to get in. I appreciate every one of you that have been a part of this broadcast. If you did enjoy the content, please do hit the like button on your way out. It does help me. If you enjoy the content, I do welcome you to subscribe to the channel. And as you see, as always, I try to prioritize the sneakerheads who are a part of the channel. If you want to join and support the channel, please do so. Become a sneakerhead. I see the notorious GAV, one of my favorites over there across the pond from Wales, at Rob Schuh. Have you watched the Trent Williams Silverback documentary yet? I have not. I am putting that on my list, Gav. Man, I need to see that because I've heard it is very inspirational, and I am a huge Trent Williams fan. Man. Loving this interaction. All right, that takes us home, 49er faithful. Thank you for joining the show. For everyone that was here, it was a great live stream. Appreciate it. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe on the way out. I will be back this week. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see when I come in. And just like that, T Breezy comes in with the super chat. We're getting that up there. Not buying G's injury. A cow was made. JY remove him. Call was made. So I don't buy the conspiracy theories. T Breezy, you are welcome to, though. That is your right to believe it is a conspiracy. As soon as ESPN, Adam Schefter, everybody reporting it, I think that's real news. But I appreciate the donation anyway. Look on Twitter to see when I go live next. It is the holiday week, so a little bit more sparse, but I will be on, no question. You will, at a minimum, see me on Wednesday. I'm going to put out the submission for mailbag questions. You can put in your questions, 49er related, at 49ersmailbag@gmail.com or hit me on Twitter. I'll try and get in a mailbag episode tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon. Until then, thanks for joining me, and cheers to you, 49er faithful.